kunja bihari jaya. Jaya Radha Madhava kunja bihari jaya. Gopi jana balaba grivaradhari jaya. Gopi jana balaba grivaradhari jaya. Yasodhanandana braja janaranjana sodhana. Yasodhanandana braja janaranjana Yamuna chiravanachari Yamuna Yamuna chiravanachari Yamuna Jaya Radha Madhava kunja bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava kunja bihari jaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Haribo, 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 Nitya Haribo. Nitya Haribo, 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 Nitya Haribo. Dyau Mission Paramahansa Paribhrakacharya Stutasla Shishimat A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Dyau Mission Paramahansa Paribhrakacharya Stutasla Shishimat Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Prem Sikao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda ki. Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki. Vrindavan Dham ki. Mayapur Dham ki. Dwarka Dham ki. Jagannath Dham ki. Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya ki. Tashi Devi ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Srishnatai Gaurachanda ki. Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Ishvara Samasunda ki, Harinam Sankirtana ki, Samaveta Bhakta ki, Nitai Gopimanandi. All glory to the Sambhi devotees, all glory to the Sambhi devotees, all glory to the Sambhi devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Put the fan on. Homa Gyana Trimenda Shagana Gana Salakaya Chaksu Sumiltan Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishta Ashtapita Yena Bhutale Sanyarupa Kadama Yadadati Swapadantikam Vandiham Sri Guru Sritam Padakamalan Sri Guru Vaishnava Vasichan Sri Rūpam Sakajata Sahaganara Gunata Vidanta Sajivan Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saita Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devan Sri Radha Krishna Padasahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radha Brindamaniswari Vishabhanu Sutadevi Panamami Hari Panchaka Patarabhyascha Kripa Sundibhye Vacha Patitana Pavana Vibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Guratu Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anandadilāmaya vigrāya imabhāda vichave sundarāya tasma mahā premarasa paraya vichetanya chandayo namadhamastute. So I thank everyone for being here this evening, here at the Krishna Balaram Temple, Balaram Hall. And also thank those who are listening from Vrindavan TV. So it's always wonderful to be listening to the Bhagavad Gita discuss. So in this chapter, Lord Krishna is now, he has revealed his universal form by which Arjuna he has seen. Now Arjuna is now describing this wonderful universal form, Vishwarup. So Arjuna has seen everything because Krishna gave him a special eye by which he can behold the universal form. So today we are text number 20. So you can just recite together and then there will be some discussion. Dyāv ā-pṛthivyoḥ idam antaram hi vyāptaṁ tvayaikena diśaś sarvāḥ dṛṣṭvādbhutaṁ rūpam ugram tavedaṁ loka-trayaṁ pravyathitaṁ mahātman dyau ā-pṛthivyor idam antaram vyāptam tvayaikena diśaś sarvāḥ dṛṣṭvādbhutaṁ rūpam ugram tavedaṁ loka-trayaṁ pravyathitaṁ mahātman dyāv ā-pṛthivyoḥ idam antaram vyāptam tvayaikena diśaś dṛṣṭvādbhutaṁ rūpam ugram tavedaṁ loka-trayaṁ pravyathitaṁ mahātman. Can chant. Somebody else? Ladies? Any ladies want to chant? Dyau from outer space, ā-pṛthivyoḥ to the earth, idam, this, antaram, between, he, certainly, vyāptam, pervaded, tvayā, by you, ekena, alone, diśaḥ, directions, cha, and sarvāḥ, all dṛṣṭvā by seeing. Adbhutam, wonderful. Rūpam, form. Ugram, terrible. Tava, your. Idam, this. Loka, the planetary systems. Trayaṁ, three. Pravyathitaṁ, perturbed. Mahātman, O Great One. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. Purport. Draw ā-pṛthivyor, the space between heaven and earth, and loka-trayaṁ, the three words, are significant words in this verse. Because it appears that not only did Arjuna see this universal form of the Lord, but others in other planetary systems saw it also. Arjuna's seeing of the universal form was not a dream. All whom the Lord endowed with divine vision saw that universal form on the battlefield. So, it's on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, whereby the Lord displayed his Vishwarup, his universal form, because Arjuna, he had requested, he wanted to see. Because, as we said before, when the Lord described all his various opulence, his vibhutis, how he's everything, how he's everywhere, so Arjuna, he wanted a practical demonstration of he wanted to have a practical knowledge, or he wanted to see how the Lord pervades everything, how Lord Krishna is everywhere. So, in order to show Arjuna this form, this universal form, so the Lord was telling Arjuna that now, because this form of mine is not ordinary form, so I have to give you a special eye to see. Which means, to see the Lord cannot be seen by ordinary materialistic senses. What's that verse? That verse in the scriptures, Nabhave Graha Indraye, that the Lord cannot be seen, cannot be understood by ordinary material senses. It's only when the Lord favors someone to see him. Just like we have the altar here, we have the temple here, and the temple, we have the form of the Lord. The Lord is there on the altar. Krishna Balaram, Radha Shyama Sundar, Sigo Nitai. They are there on the altar, but different people will have different vision. A materialistic person will see only a statue, just some statue make of marbles or stones. That's what a materialistic person will see. But a devotee will see the Lord himself. We see the Lord himself, Shema Sundar. Just like the story of Gopinath. Gopinath was here in Vrindavan, and there are two Brahmanas. One is old and one is young. So the younger Brahmana was serving the old Brahmana. So the old Brahmana was very, very pleased by the service of the younger Brahman. And the old Brahmana told the younger Brahmana that, my dear boy, because you have rendered so much service to me, which even my own son cannot do, so therefore I have decided to give you my daughter for you to marry to. So when this young Brahmana heard this, he said, oh, my dear sir, this is very difficult. This is not practical. Because you are very aristocratic Brahman, famous, very highly learned person, whereas I am just a very simple Brahman. I'm not too much learned. I'm very, very much unknown. So how will this be possible that you will give me your daughter in marriage? So the Brahmana said, no, my daughter is my own property. This is my decision, that no one can thwart this decision of mine. It's my decision to give my daughter in marriage to you. So the Brahmana said, the young Brahmana said, okay, if this is the case, just in case when we go back to our village and you mention this to your relatives and they do not agree with you, so therefore I want us to have a witness. I want us to make this decision in front of Gopal. This decision in front of Gopal, so this is and then we can make so that the Gopal will be a witness just in case there may be some dispute in the future. So I want to make Gopal as a witness. So the old Brahmana said, yes, no problem. So they went before the deity, and the old Brahmana, he promised to have his daughter to get married to the young Brahmana. So he made this promise in front of Gopal. And the young Brahmana said, okay, my dear Lord, you have heard this. Just in case there's a problem, I'm going to have to call you as a witness. So after some time, when they got back to their village, this was Vidyanagar, very, very far away. This was from Vrindavan. This was in South India, very, very far away. The distance was very long distance. So when the old Brahmana, when he told his wife, sons, family members that he has decided to have his daughter to get married to this young Brahmana. So the old family members, they said, this is not possible. How will you have your daughter to get married to that wretched Brahmana? This Brahmana is so wretched. How are you going to allow this? We're not going to let this happen. And then the Brahmana said, but I have made my promise to the Brahmana that I'm going to give my daughter to him. So the family member said that, no, you don't have to fulfill this promise. You can just say that you've forgotten. Just say that you've forgotten this promise you made. And then the Brahmana said that, well, I made this promise in front of Gopa in Vrindavan, and if I say I don't remember, the Brahman, this young Brahmana, will call Gopa as a witness. So the son of the Brahmana, the wife, they say, oh, Gopa is so far away. How's he going to be a witness here? He's so far away. Anyway, just let's see, but this is not going to happen. So when this young Brahmana came back to the house of the Brahmana, so that the Brahmana can fulfill his pledge of getting his young daughter married to the Brahman, to the young Brahmana. So the young Brahmana said that he doesn't remember. He cannot remember making such a promise. And then the son, he wanted to beat this young Brahmana that, oh, you are such a rogue. You've poisoned my father. You took away all his wealth, and now you want to come here and claim my sister in marriage. So therefore, get away from here. So the young Brahmana, he left, and then he called all the village people that you come and hear what has happened. You should come and hear that this Brahmana, he has made a promise, but now he doesn't want to fulfill his promise. So, and then there was a lot of argument because the son of the old Brahmana, he was saying that, oh, this young Brahmana is just a rogue. He wanted to just steal from my father. And then the young Brahmana said that, well, we have made a promise in front of Gopa deity. So therefore, I am going to call Gopa to come here. And then all of you can see. All of you can see. So the young Brahmana, he went back. He came back to Vrindavan, and then he was in front of Gopa and telling Gopa that this is what has happened, that the old Brahmana is going back on his pledge. He doesn't want to fulfill the pledge which he had made to me. So therefore, my dear Lord, I want you to come with me and be a witness. Come with me and be a witness. So Gopal said, how can I come with you to be a witness? The place is so far away. Have you ever heard of a deity walking before? Have you ever heard of a deity walking before? So the young Brahmana said, well, if you can talk, which also means you can walk. If you can talk, also you can walk. So therefore, your argument is not sound argument. And then the Lord said, okay, that's true. Okay, and then the Lord gave the condition by which he will follow this young Brahmana to the village. So basically, because the deity, the Brahmana said that, my dear Lord, you're not a deity, you are Samasunda himself, you are Krishna himself. You are not different from your form. Your form is the same. You are not just a deity, you are Samasunda himself. So the devotees, when they're in front of the Lord, they don't just see some statue, they actually see the Lord himself. And we've had so many stories whereby devotees, they've had so many interactions with the ladies, with the deities form. So many interactions have been there, where the Lord actually reciprocates directly with these devotees. So the Arjuna, he saw this universal form, and because he was given a special eye to see the form, he was given a special eye. Now, as mentioned here, that So Arjuna is describing this universal form, dyau, ā-pṛthivyor, idam, antaram, he. So Arjuna could see that between the heaven and earth, between all the planetary systems, Arjuna could see this form of the Lord that is spread everywhere. Dyau, ā-pṛthivyor, idam, antaram, he. He could see that the Lord is pervaded everywhere. The Lord is everywhere. And then not just this, then he said, dṛṣṭvādbhutaṁ, rūpam, ugram, tavedaṁ, loka-trayaṁ. So which means, now, not only Arjuna was seeing this form, there are many, many other great personalities who were also seeing the form. Actually, when the Lord gave the universal form, when the Lord gave the eye to Arjuna, so they can see this form, this universal form, the Lord also similarly gave many, many personalities, the demigods, the great sages. He gave them the same form and the same eye to see. So they were all seeing, they were also given the special eye. So not just only Arjuna was given the special eyes, the demigod, the rishis, and also the great devotees. They also were given the special eye to see this form. And Arjuna is saying here that, it's a rūpam, ugram, tavedaṁ, loka-trayaṁ, because this form is so amazing. Adbhutam is so amazing to see, it's so amazing to behold. How this form, thousands of heads, thousands of hands and eyes have just spread all over the planetary systems. So it's a ugra, it become very, very fearsome. So fearsome when they were seeing this form, or this universal form. It's so fearsome that everyone become very, very afraid. Everyone become very, very perturbed just by seeing this form. Everyone is very, very afraid just by seeing this form. Now, it's the other commentators on this verse, they are mentioning that the devotees, when they see the form, even though they were afraid, seeing this form, because very, very, it's not a simple thing. It's very, very fearful. So, but at the same time, because it's after all, it's a form of the Lord. It's a form of the Lord. So they are not really that afraid, because it's a form of the Lord that they are seeing. So they are not too afraid seeing this form. But normally, especially if the non-devotees, if they should see this form, they become very, very afraid. They become very, very perturbed. So this is what Arjuna described. So basically, essentially, Arjuna is pleading with the Lord to withdraw this form. He's pleading with him to withdraw this form. So there is a verse in the Brahma Samhita, how the Lord is everywhere. Even though he's one, but at the same time he pervades everything. He pervades everything, even though he's one. So in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma said, Eka pasauratyayitum jagadanda kotim ya shaktya si jagadanda chaya yadanta anda tarasta paramanu chayantarastam govinda maripurusham tamaham bhajami. Translation. This is translation and purport by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him and is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. So, the Lord Brahma is describing how the Lord pervades everywhere. Purport: Krishna is the highest of all entities. In him is an entity which is termed chit, spiritual, which is distinct from the principle of limitation. By his inconceivable power, he can at will create numberless universes. All the mundane universes hold their origin to the transformation of his external potency. Again, his abode is beyond human conception. Since all worlds, limited and spiritual chit, exist in him, and he resides simultaneously in his fullness and entirety in all the atoms, in all the worlds. All pervasiveness is only a localized aspect of the majesty of Krishna, the Lord of all. Though he is all-pervasive, yet in his existence everywhere in a medium shape consists a spiritual lordship beyond human conception. This argument favors the doctrine of simultaneously inconceivable distinction and non-distinction, and knocks down the contaminating Mayavad and other allied doctrines. So this is a verse, sloka by Lord Brahma, who is describing the form of the Lord has been everything. In the Upanishad, it said that Parasha Shakti Vividaiva Suyate, that Swabha Vigyana Kriya, so that everything is going on by his potency, by his energy. And of course, the thing is, the Lord, his Shakti is not different from him. But at the same time, even though the Lord can be manifest everywhere, but it doesn't mean that he has lost his personality. His beautiful form, whereby he is personally present in front of his devotees as a beautiful Shamasundar. So that form is always eternally in front of his devotees, and simultaneously this universal form is also eternally manifest. It's always there. After all, everything consists of his energy. Everything consists of his energy only. But how the Lord pervades the universe, sometimes it's difficult for everyone to understand. So therefore, as Arjuna is going to mention in the next verse, he's going to plead the Lord to please display his original form, original Samasundar form. He's going to ask him that, because this form that you are showing is just too much. It's so adbhutam, so wonderful. It's and this form, it creates so much fear in everyone. It's creating so much fear in everyone. So therefore, I would prefer if you can withdraw this form. So Arjuna is making this prayer. So we have many situations, many stories. Just like I just mentioned the story of Sakshi Gopa, the witness Gopa, whereby the Brahman is telling the Lord that, my dear Lord, you are Syamasundar himself. You are Syamasundar. You are not just a deity form, but you are not different from your form. You are the original form of the Lord. So therefore, what is this that you cannot walk? Of course you can walk. So, listening to the argument of the Brahman, so the Lord agrees, okay, I will follow you. I will follow you. And as you are going towards your village, you prepare rice, foodstuff for me. And you will know that I am following you when you hear ankle bells. When you hear ankle bell, the tingling of the ankle bell on my foot, then you will know that I'm following. So therefore, do not look back. So the Lord told that, don't look back. Don't see the way I'm walking, so that you will know that I'm walking, I'm following you just by hearing the ankle bells. So the Brahmana, he did as he was told by the Lord. Every day he will cook certain amount of food, rice, and then make the offering, give to the Lord, and then he will keep walking. He'll keep walking. And then, of course, he knew that the Lord was following him because he's constantly hearing the ankle bells. So, and then, when he was almost at his village, the Brahman, this boy, the young Brahmana, he stopped hearing these ankle bells. The ankle bell stops. So he was wondering, what has happened? What's going on? How come the ankle bell stopped? So he looked back. When he looked back, he saw that the Lord was there smiling. The Lord was there smiling. And then the Lord said, okay, now you go to your village now, call all the village people to come and see me here. So therefore the Brahman, he ran to the village, calling everyone, come, go past, come. And then all the villagers, everyone, including the old Brahmanas, everyone was very happy. They all rushed to the spot where the Gopa was standing. And then, of course, then the Gopa acted as the witness of the Brahmana. Gopa, the Gopa deity is a very beautiful deity. Big deity. If you go to Jagannathpuri, near Jagannathpuri, Sakshi Gopa, you can see this very wonderful deity, big form of the Lord. You can see them. So this is the thing, that the Lord, we do not see the difference between his various forms and his original form. Even though sometimes the Lord may display his universal form, this is just to increase the devotion, the bhakti of his devotees. Just like a couple of times, the Lord displays his same universal form. He displayed to Mother Yashoda. He displayed to Mother Yashoda because Mother Yashoda was very curious. And when she looked into the mouth of Lord Krishna, so she saw the universal form of the Lord within the mouth of the baby Krishna. Krishna was just a baby, but Mother Yashoda could see the entire universe. She could see the entire universe, the planetary system, everything. She could see everything within the mouth of the Lord. So the Lord can be the smallest, and he can also be the biggest. So everything is going on according to his energy. Parasa Shakti Videva Suyate, Swabha Viki Bala Gyana Kriyacha. So this is what we have to understand. So devotees, when they do their bhajan, when they chant the Lord's name, they see, they could visualize the Lord's forms. And that's become the impetus for their bhajan. So I'm going to stop here. So if there's any question or comment, this is about the universal form of the Lord. The description is going on. Arjuna is describing these various manifestations, and so eventually the Lord will withdraw this form. He will withdraw this universal form, and then he will display his original form before Arjuna. And then Arjuna will start making so many prayers. He will start making so many prayers and all that. So this is a very wonderful chapter, the chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, yeah. Very good. Question is there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, still I don't understand the connection between the Sarchigopal Leela and the today's purport.
Well, the connection between that is just to show that the Lord is not just a material form. Because what Arjuna was seeing is not ordinary form. He's seeing the universal form, how the Lord pervades everywhere. And the vision of the devotees is that the Lord is always fully spiritual. That is not different from his form. So, whereas the non-devotees, they see difference. They don't see. They don't have the same vision as his devotees. Their vision is not the same. And that's why the text I read from Brahma Samhita, Srila Bhaksidanta is talking about that also. Like the Mayavadas, the Kamins, they have different conception of the lost form. They think it's temporary form. That's what they think. They don't think the lost form is eternal form. They think it's all temporary, which is subject to the laws of material nature. That's what they think. But devotees don't have this kind of understanding. They don't have this kind of misconception. You see the Lord as eternal, Shamasunda Achinta Guna Swarupam, original form, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiyadi Govindam Samakarana Karanam. That is eternal, Sachidananda is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, and is the cause of all causes. So this is devotee's vision, devotee's mentality. So therefore, when Gopa, the Brahmana, when the Lord tell him that, how can I walk? Have you ever heard of deity walking before? So the Gopa said, no, my dear Lord, you are not a material form. You are Samasunda himself. You are Samasunda, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. You are the cause of all causes. This is what the Brahmana was telling the Lord. So this is the connection. This is the connection.
And one more thing, Prabhu, that Krishna, Vrindavan, Krishna never go out of Vrindavan, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But how come Sarchigopal went up to Orissa?
Yeah, Sarchigopal. See, when Krishna is out of Vrindavan, then he becomes Devakinandana Krishna. He becomes Devakinandana Krishna, or Vasudeva Krishna. So obviously, when he goes to Vidyanagar, he becomes Vasudeva Krishna, who is worshipped with all kind of opulence, everything like that. So that's Vasudeva Krishna, not Brajandanandana Krishna, different. So Krishna is always in Vrindavan for his devotees. Okay. So he's there. Do you agree with me? Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Bhagavad Gita ki, Hare Krishna.